to another episode of Wine About It Wednesday.
Wine.
Where we whine about it on Wednesday. Today's episode is brought to you by Rayun. We're still arguing about how to pronounce that. So if anybody knows.
That's a beautiful significance.
It is. There, I'll read it to you. The word Rayun comes from the language spoken by the natives prior to the discovery of America, meaning blossom.
Beautiful.
Yeah, let's try it. You ready to try it?
Yep, I'm ready to try it. Let's go. Let's do this. A little for me. Love to try more of their wine.
Yes, we would. Salud.
Let's try it. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's delicious.
That's delicious. You like it sweet, right? You like them sweet. I like them
sweet.
sweet and tart. So today we are going to whine about, what are we whining about?
Today we're going to talk about essential oils.
We don't want to come off as judgmental on anybody. I have my expertise and Kathleen has her expertise, and we just want to share our knowledge with you all. And you know, if we ever come off too aggressive or too judgmental, you just let us know in the comments. Essential oils, I've used them in our formulas for 20 plus years, right? I know Kathleen's used them in her home forever, right? My family, if you guys recall or you've heard in the past, is Woodstock Originals. Like, there's stories there, but we won't go there. So I still to this day have family members addictively use essential oils. Excessively and addictively use them, and they will ingest these oils. So that's one thing we're gonna touch on just a little bit today. For me, since I just mentioned family members still ingesting these things, is even if you have the most pure, the best essential oils, is not recommended. I would not recommend you to ingest those. Even if you are diluting them in something else, you want to make sure that the first thing you're doing is you're making sure that what is in it, what are the ingredients in it. So that's very important because every single essential oil is manufactured via steam distillation or compressed, or it can actually be extracted via an alcohol. The reason why we import our oils, the reason why I have chosen over the years to import is because I need a very specific type of essential oil.
We have several of our smaller retail size that are available on the market. Just right here, we have 5 different brands. So there's not a lack of brands here, but to make our products for Raw Botanicals, we require a lot, large quantities and very high quality.
I've used the same 2 producers in the US for probably 15 years now, and I trust their brand. They give me bulk quantity, and it's not cheap. So it would take a warehouse full of the right grade of lavender to make, 16 ounces of pure essential oil of lavender. So the cost is high for a reason. Now, a lot of people get confused with this because they think that, like right now, we're enjoying this beautiful lavender aromatherapy experience here. It's amazing, honestly. However, this is an aromatherapy diffuser, right? So when it comes to skincare and your products, again, the formulation is key. I know Kathleen has a story to share about a friend who used essential oil deodorant.
If you're listening to this, I won't mention your name, but she wanted to just try a more natural approach. And that's, I think, where a lot of these terror stories or horror stories come from, is that they just want to try a more natural approach to something.
Right.
And so she was using essential oils as deodorant without a carrier oil. And so she wound up with a giant, horrific chemical burn on her skin.
And the last point with the quantity that we use is it has to be formulated perfectly, right? Just be careful, because if you're ingesting and or you're putting on your skin, like in Kathleen's friend's case, again, based on that carrier, whatever they've mixed that in, whatever formula they've created, you can have any number of reactions to it. There's that curve, like when you're making soap, there's a curve factor. So if we reach over the curve, we've made a toxic product. It doesn't matter how organic, how pure it is. A specific concentrate with our essential oils in bulk, as you see, and then a very specific amount to get the active in it. We don't use our essential oils for fragrance. So that's something that a lot of people ask us all the time. How do we get the amazing fragrance? We use edible oil, saborizante is how we say it.
You know, if I'm going to the store, or if I want to buy something in retail size, how can I ensure that I'm getting something safe? How does a person do that? Do I Google it? Do I just read the container? Is there a certain ingredient I need to watch out for?
Right, I think it's going to depend on what country you're traveling in.
Okay.
Here in Costa Rica, we're really blessed because we have the Ministry of Salud, which is an amazing government agency, and they keep very strict protocols for these kind of things with labeling, manufacturing, licensing.
Importing goods in general, but especially importing essential oils, it seems like a huge challenge, and if I wanted to get into that, what would I do?
Anything you import, you have to be licensed to do it, right? But in this case, we're just going to say we want to import essential oils to distribute. So to do that, you're going to need a SAO. So you're going to need a legal business registered in Costa Rica in order to import it. Then you're going to need an importing license. So that's the second thing you're going to need. So those oils would need to have very specific data on them in Spanish in order to be resold. So that's very important, and it can be very costly, anywhere from $200 to $250 per inscription for the Ministry of Health to get that done. Essential oils can get into the chemical regime with the INSI. You have to have a specific registration and documentation translated both in English and Spanish for both sides. So when it gets through customs in Costa Rica, it has to go through customs in the US. It has to meet all their requirements, and then it has to be freight forwarded over to Costa Rica, and that all has to be done in a very specific way.
That sounds like a lot of
it's a lot of
work.
And then you have to decide now how much are you going to repackage those, or are you going to sell them? That kind of thing. I don't know. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it totally does. I feel like I went to school about essential oils. I've learned a lot, and I hope you all have too.
Good. Yay! You learned something today, and you know where to reach us. So I think that's it. And thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for joining us on Wine About It
Wine
Wednesday.
About It Wednesday.